and gentlemen, welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy, and today we're checking out the Corsair Void RGB wireless gaming headset. So this will be quite interesting. I don't think we've tested a wireless headset on Tech Showdown before, but a lot of people will hear wireless headset and they'll be like, about the audio quality and the breakup and interference and all that stuff. But hey, let's see how this one does. So let's get into the specs and features. So obviously you're going to need a wireless receiver for this guy, and that comes in the form of a 2.4 GHz USB wireless receiver, which is quite nice. Drivers wise, it's coming with 50mm drivers with a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz and an impedance of 32 ohms. Now it comes with a USB to micro USB cable in order to charge the headset. You see it plugs in just down there. However, there is a downside to this. It won't just work like a normal cabled headset, so if you for some reason lose the USB wireless receiver, you can't just plug it in with that cord and use it. It won't transmit data through the cord, it's just to charge the batteries in the headset. So that's a bit of a letdown for some people. It does feature Dolby Virtual 7.1 channel audio. It has RGB lighting, as you can see on the sides here, 16.8 million colors. And a whole bunch of different lighting modes, which is quite cool. It has a unidirectional microphone, as you can see. And battery life, it's kind of hard to say. It's going to be coming in about 15, 16 hours-ish, depending on what settings you have on the lighting. If you have the lighting off completely, that could be extended up to probably 20 hours plus. Now let's talk about the first thing, the looks. First thing you see. So I find it kind of strange that for an RGB, usually with RGB, peripherals, they make them very color neutral. So they'll go with whatever theme you have. But then to make this RGB and yet have so much yellow on it is quite an interesting choice. We'll put it that way. However, it does make it look quite flashy. It does make it stand out, that's for sure. And the actual design of it, how it looks design-wise, I think is really solid. Now the RGB lighting looks really cool. I think, I don't know, there's something to be said about RGB lighting on a headset because, you yourself can't actually see it unless I guess you look in a mirror. But yeah, so, but I think it still looks cool. I mean, if you're going to throw lighting in there, you may as well make it RGB so people can change it. And there's loads of settings in Corsair's Q software for all the different whatever you want it to do, and obviously setting up different custom colors and all that good stuff. Now, as far as the headset goes, it's quite big and it's quite heavy. It looks pretty huge when you're actually wearing them, as you can see now. It looks like a big pair of headphones. So that's something some people might like or might not like. I'm not really too sure. I mean, if you decide to, connect the USB dongle up to your phone via the micro USB or something like that and wear these in public, you'll be pretty super cool, that's for sure, if you're wearing these on a bus or something, or a train. So yeah, just something to consider. These are quite big, they are quite heavy as well, obviously, because they've got a lot of the wireless components in them and a battery. So that's obviously going to weigh them down quite a bit. Now it has headphone controls over on the left hand side here, so you see power up the top, you have the mute microphone button, and also down here you have volume control, so you hit that up and down will obviously raise volume up and volume down. Now you can click it once in and out and that'll change the EQ settings between 5 different EQ settings, which we'll talk about a bit more later, or you can hold it down and that'll switch you between 2.1 channel and the Dolby 7.1 channel. Now let's move on to comfort then. So it features cloth on the ear cups here, which is interesting, and on the headband, which, a lot of them go with leather these days, but so that was an interesting choice. These are a bit on the heavy side, as I just said, and you do feel it wear on the top of your head, in the headband. The headband does have good padding in it, but you just still feel it kind of like wearing on you just because of the weight of them is a bit more on the heavy side. However, the ear cups and the headband both feature memory foam, which I really like. It's really, really good material. So that makes it really soft. But the big problem I had was the shape of the ear cups are very bizarre, and they fit kind of weirdly on your ear. They can kind of push down on different parts. If you have bigger ears, it'll be hard to kind of like get your ears into them comfortably. So yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why they didn't just kind of like make it a circle like, you know, most manufacturers do. That's usually a pretty good idea when it comes to headphones. Making up for this though, there is a lot of adjustment there, so you can set these exactly how you want. Obviously there's a lot there, so you can get it just nice, just the way you want. There's a numbering up the top, so you can always get it back to the one you want. So I really like that side of it. And you know, just from using these and playing, you know, League of Legends for hours and hours and stuff like that, I'd say these definitely aren't bad in terms of comfort. I wouldn't say they're bad, but I'd say they're only like good or like pretty good in terms of comfort. They definitely could be more comfortable. It's mainly the wearing on the headband that's the issue, and also the fact that the weird shape of the ear cups, it just lets it down a bit. So yeah, it's only pretty good in terms of comfort. However, let's move on to the sound quality, because that's what a lot of people are definitely going to be interested in. So as far as wireless headsets go, this is absolutely excellent in terms of sound quality. I was really, really impressed, and I didn't hear any interference at all, even if, you know, I was playing music or something and I went just out of the room to get something, not even in line of sight. You would only get a little bit of interference, which I was quite impressed by. So you should be getting about 12 meters of range on these guys, so that's pretty good. So I thought that was really good. The sound quality itself was really clean, really solid, really good bass when it came to music, so I really liked that. It was very impressive. It's definitely one of the best in terms of sound quality that I have tested, which is really good, especially for a wireless headset. Now the 7.1 does work. I'm not the hugest fan of it, as I've said before. However, these do really good, and I understand that people use 7.1 for when they want to watch, you know, movies, or when they're doing competitive play, especially things like CSGO. They'll want it and they don't really care so much about the sound quality. They just want to be able to hear people coming up behind them and all that. So for that side of things, it did really, really well. But just on 2.1, which is what I play the majority of my games at, obviously you don't need 7.1 for something like League of Legends. Yeah, I just thought it was really, really good, and I was really, really impressed by the sound quality. Super clean, super nice. And the EQ settings you can jump through. There's 5 different ones for you to check out. There's the Pure Direct, which is kind of like the basic one. That's pretty much all you need. You can pretty much just set it to that and you'll be fine. There's also a bass boost, which is good if you want to make it sound like you're in a nightclub, especially if you're listening to pop music or hip-hop or anything like that. There's also FPS competition mode, which in conjunction with the 7.1 I found would be the best for a competitive play. You can really hear a lot going on around you. Clear chat, which is good if you're going on Skype. And movie theater, which is pretty self-explanatory for watching movies. So that was all quite nice, and it's a nice inclusion that they have in there. The Q software is still ridiculously complicated when it comes to actually customizing a lot of things, but as far as the preset stuff goes, it's really simple for these headphones anyway. Now let's move on to the mic quality. So the mic quality itself is pretty clear for the most part. It's going to get you by for all your Skype calls. You don't hear too much stuff in the background. I thought it was, again, pretty good. Definitely not the best, but not bad. So yeah, just pretty good. It has lights on it as well to let you know when you have it muted, which is good, but it's kind of hard to see it sometimes. So yeah, it's a good idea anyways. I mean, Corsair tried. However, the one thing is that this isn't bendable, which a lot of people will be kind of unimpressed by. And also, it's hard to explain to you guys because you can't actually feel it. It just feels really bad quality. Like this feels so flimsy and bad quality. I'm really unimpressed. Considering the quality of the rest of it was pretty good. The mic just seems like a bit of a letdown in terms of quality. So I didn't think that was very good. However, I'll let you guys judge for yourself as per usual. So here is what the mic quality sounds like on the Corsair Void Wireless. So this should give you an idea of the sound quality. It's pretty good, I think, for the most part. I mean, you can type and stuff like that. I mean, these are loose switches. You can kind of hear them a little bit, but I think it's pretty good for the most part. I think it'll get most people by just fine. So that should give you an idea of the sound quality there. I think it's, pretty good. Definitely, not bad, but definitely not the best we've heard. Now let's move on now to the build quality. So it's pretty good. It's like plastic fantastic, like they all seem to be doing now, except it has the metal hair connecting down to the air cups, which I think is nice. It's a little bit of premium materials in there. This is probably the part that's most likely to, snap as well as if it was plastic. So that's really good. It feels, like it's got a good weight to it, good amount of flex, not a bad amount. So the build quality overall is pretty good, aside from the microphone, as we just mentioned, which just feels completely, it's just really bad. The quality just diminishes so much once you get to the microphone. So a bit of a letdown there. Which brings us now to the conclusion. So what do I make of the Corsair Void RGB wireless gaming headset? Well, yeah, so looks-wise, it's pretty good for the most part, aside from it being yellow and RGB, which is a little bit bizarre, but the design itself is pretty good. Comfort-wise, it's decent. I mean, good materials, just a bit on the heavy side. Sound quality is excellent, especially for a wireless headset. The 7.1 works really, really well. Mic quality is pretty good for the most part, and build quality is good aside from the microphone. Now, pricing-wise, it's coming in, I believe, at $219 at Playtech, which is pretty on the high side of things. However, this is wireless, so that is kind of to be, expected. But yeah, I'd probably say these do a pretty good job. I'd give them like a 7 out of 10 would probably be it. They do a pretty good job for the most part. However, if you don't care about wireless and you don't care about lighting, then I would say go with the Kingston HyperX Cloud 2, as that delivers pretty much as good as or better sound quality and mic quality and better comfort. That's true, definitely better comfort than these. But of course it's not wireless and it doesn't have lighting, but it is coming in at a significantly cheaper price than these guys. So it just depends on the user out there, but I would still probably recommend the HyperX Cloud 2s over the Corsair Voids. Now I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.